The first thing I want to talk about is the space where you're going to create your videos, the space where I create my videos. Let me pull up a video on my handy-dandy iPhone, and you can take a peek at what I've got going on in my basement studio called The Dungeon. As you can see, this is a combination of an audio recording studio and a video, pay no attention to that shelf, and a video studio. All right, so this is in probably about the third iteration in its development over the years. And it's a pretty comfortable place for me. It works well. It's not huge. This area is probably about 14 feet by about 12 feet or so. And I do have room to expand behind me in the future. And if you're just starting out, this is really what I want to emphasize. Find a space in your house, in your apartment, whatever building you're in, that you can dedicate to audio and music production. And if you can't dedicate fully a space, try to find a space that you can at least partially dedicate. If you can leave your gear set up for audio recording, for video shooting, it's going to make it so much easier than if you have to spend time setting up and tearing down before and after each video, or before and after each audio recording for that matter. The next item to consider when creating really cool ambient guitar videos is the audio. You thought I was going to say cameras, didn't you? Well, no. People will forgive you for having imperfect video if the audio is good. But if the video is perfect and the audio stinks, people are going to lose interest. So take the time to capture really good sounding audio while you're playing guitar. And I recommend taking the time to get a small or large, whatever your budget will support, audio interface that you can plug into your computer and learn how to record digitally to the computer. It's going to sound so much better. And when you combine it with a video, oh yeah, it's going to sound great. And part B of the audio, if you're speaking like me, is what are you going to capture your voice with? And don't use your iPhone or your Android device directly. Spend a little money and get a microphone that you can use. A lot of folks use lavalier mics. They sound great. Since I'm in the studio, I actually prefer to use a studio mic. And as you can see here, I've got this set up above my head, just out of camera. If you're interested, this is an Electro Voice Cardinal. I actually got it on sale a long time ago, probably 15 years ago. It was a closeout sale. I think this was B stock. I probably spent $70 on the microphone, and it's been a great mic for my voice for the last 10, 11 years that I've been on YouTube. Moving beyond the audio, now we should consider the video, and that is all about cameras, right? So you'll need a camera with which to shoot your videos. So I am using Fujifilm cameras. This is the new X-T5, and in addition to this, I have two older X-T3s that I use to shoot my videos. Let me show you the X-T3s here. There we go. You can see them both sitting up there. And you'll note that I'm actually using two different cameras, and I've got them both set up because for my types of videos, a lot of times I will have the main camera on me, and then I'll have the secondary camera on my pedal board so folks can see what's going on the floor. All right, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Bill, I don't have budget for that kind of camera. And this is where your iPhone or your Android device comes into play. If you have a fairly modern smartphone, the camera on this thing is great. It's incredible, as a matter of fact. So don't let the lack of a dedicated video camera stop you. Get out that smartphone and get to work. All right, we have a space. We have our audio being recorded, both the guitar and the voice, and we have our camera set up. If you are inside like me in a space with no windows, you are absolutely going to need some lights. Here's the current lighting that I use. It's big. It's big, and it can get really bright. If you're interested in the brand, it's a Godox, and I actually have two of them. This light here is shining on my face, giving me that moody shadows, and that's mostly because I didn't want to set up the other light. All right, do you need lights like that? Absolutely not. When I first got started here on YouTube, the first video I did, I didn't have a dedicated space, and I had no lights. So what I did was I got a shop light, and I was doing a pedal demo, and I actually positioned the shop light so it would shine on the pedal to illuminate the pedal. And that's how I shot the video. It wasn't great, but it worked. And then as I went along, I just slowly began to improve the lighting. I went to Home Depot one weekend and I got a couple of those kind of clip-on lights, put compact fluorescent bulbs. It was kind of before LED bulbs really were popular. Put them in there. I needed some diffusion, so I got like a pillowcase and hung it over. Total low tech. But little by little, I learned a little bit more, a little bit here, a little bit there about lighting, and was able to improve the way my videos were lit without spending a ton of money. So that's it, right? We're ready to rock. We've got everything we need to create a really good sounding, awesome looking ambient guitar video. Well, I do have one other suggestion, and that is, in your space, set it up to remove distractions from the background. As you can see in this background, there are 0 distractions because it is a plain grayish background. Some would say it's a totally boring background, but I'm pretty boring, so it kind of fits my personality. But what I have going on with this background is it's basically a photography backdrop. Let me get up from this stool. I'm going to show you what it looks like, again, on my iPhone. There we go. You can see, and I'm sorry about the mic here. Let me get a little closer. You can see I've got this cloth backdrop hanging up. You can also see the rafters of my basement ceiling. All right. That looks a lot better. But basically, I just have a kind of a stand, right, that I can hang the backdrop on. I got it from a photography retail website. And I have 3 of these backdrops. I have this solid gray, I've got one that's kind of a patterned, and then I have a green screen when I want to play in front of, the Himalayan mountains and look really cool. So they all just, I get the one out that I want to use, hang it on the stand, make sure the wrinkles are smoothed out, and there you go. And you absolutely do not need to spend a lot of money on fancy backdrops. Again, when I got started, I made a stand out of PVC pipes. So that cost me about $5 or $10, whatever it was. And I didn't buy a backdrop. I hung up an old white bed sheet for the backdrop. And I used it for a bunch of videos in the early days. All right, you've captured audio and video. Well, where do we go from here? Well, we go into video editing. Now, I'm not going to go through a whole video editing tutorial here and now because there are a ton of them on YouTube, and I would encourage you to look some of them up and see some of the techniques that folks are using to edit videos. You'll learn a lot about the tools, the software, and the techniques. That's what I did when I was getting started. But briefly, I just want to discuss one major issue. Well, it's not really an issue, but one major step. And that is you've captured your video on cameras, and you've captured your audio on your computer. Once you mix the audio down, let's say you're using Reaper or Logic Pro, once you've got it mixed down, how do you combine it with the video so that everything is synchronized? Fortunately, most modern video editors like Premiere Pro and Final Cut, and I haven't tried DaVinci, but I'm sure DaVinci Resolve will do this too. All of these pieces of software allow you to automatically synchronize audio with video. Your cameras are capturing audio with their built-in microphones. So when you pull in the footage, you'll have that audio. Then you have the high-quality audio that you've captured directly into your computer. And then when you pull all of that footage and all of those audio files into your video editor, well, you can pretty much combine them automatically and everything will sync up. It's pretty cool. All right, guys, that's my process for creating videos. I hope it's helpful. Oh, wait, you're asking, how do I create an ambient guitar recording? I've got a playlist for you right here. Check it out. I'll see you on those videos.